Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome to the channel. We are here today to do ultimate list of upcoming PlayStation VR2 games. We've got over 100 games to talk about, AAA games, also, the little indie games. Everything is here. I think I've got every single game, so before I start, I want to give big shout out to all the patrons now, in case some of you don't survive towards the end of this video, because it is a long video. Now, also little disclaimer, we starting from 2076 Midway Multiverse. As you can see, this is the title of the game. In the corner is written in red. Now, listen, 95%, let's say, or maybe 90, I don't know, I'm not good with percentages. 90% of the games in this video are definitely confirmed and coming to PlayStation VR2. But also we've got some possible and rumored games, and I wanted to include them here as well. That's why I included Midway Multiverse. So the reason for it is that this game got announced originally for PlayStation VR1. But of course, as many of you probably already noticed, PS VR1 version didn't happen. So following my very logical process of thinking, they probably moved on to PS VR2 version, but didn't announce it yet. It's coming from Ivanovich Games, the studio that likes to release their games on PlayStation VR platform, PSVR 1. So hopefully this will come to PlayStation VR 2 instead. It's got R-Type vibes. We're gonna talk about R-Type as well later on in the video, because R-Type is announced for PSVR 2 as well. But anyway, another game sneaked here, and this is 2MD Football VR Unleashed All-Star. Now, this is coming from the developer True and Pixar. They're gonna have another game on this list called The Runner. So what they did is they decided to get 2MD Football VR Unleashed All-Star and release it on PSVR 2. If you own 2MD Football 1, then this is gonna come to you and you'll be able to play it for the cheaper price. If you don't own it, then you're probably gonna buy it for a normal price. This game got a lot going on here, so there's not only catching the ball, but you can properly play like a, proper games. As it goes for True and Pixar, the game got amazing, great soundtrack and very fun gameplay. And this is your football VR game for PSVR 2, so we're getting some sport titles. That's not the only sport title on this list, we're gonna talk about some more. Now, listen, oh look, there's two of me, a younger version of myself and me in this corner. We have to talk about possible Ace Combat game for PlayStation VR 2. In the background you can see me playing Ace Combat on PSVR 1 using HOTAS controller, having tons of fun because the game is amazing. So, other week I did a video about Ace Combat where the Sushei Yoshida and creator of the series been having a laugh that, they want to play more VR, and then the creator of the game said, shh, don't say it here on Twitter. So that's probably was, now somebody in comment section said probably, there's two options. It might be because they got something in the development and they don't want to mention it just yet, or he said that because it's Twitter and people might misinterpret it. Now, I dig deeper, so I'm gonna have video upcoming about Ace Combat 6, Ace Combat game for PSVR game that is possible, but I checked out stuff, what's happening, what the studio been doing, the Bandai, the other studios involved in this game, and multiple games they got in the development, and yes, it looks like Ace Combat game for PSVR 2 will be happening. For now, I put it as possible. Moving on, this is a confirmed game. Do you want to have farm and, do stuff what you see here on screen? This is one of those non-violent video games called Across the Valley, coming from the same studio that brought you Conrad Kitten's game, which was a non-violent game where you've been looking after the little tiny kitten. Affected. The Asylum appears slowly on the screen. Now, I involved this game here. I wanted it to be here, and I'm glad that it's here, and I'm glad that Affected getting another game. So, of course, Affected the Manor, it was an experience that probably many of you used to showcase the PlayStation VR 2 to your family and friends, because it's very easy, to pick up and play. affected. The Asylum still gonna have those cool mechanics that's you know, are designed to really scare you and make you jump. But also they've got some more gameplay element this time, some elements, so you will see it in this trailer, which is quite cool. Also, comparing the graphics to the first one, well, this one, I'm not taking anything away from the first one, by the way, I used it so many times, but this one definitely got those more high quality, less maybe cartoony graphics. Somebody took a pill, I don't know why. So yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I cannot wait to try it again. Another scary experience for PlayStation VR owners, but this time for PSVR2 owners. As you can see, just now you saw it. Well, whoever playing it or for trailer, been opening things by themselves. More based action with your movements, not just walking forward, but also there is other stuff to be done. So yeah, oh, this is scary face. So yeah, this is your affected the Asylum. The developer is saying that this will be coming in the year 2023, which is a very good year, because that is the year when PlayStation VR2 will release. Now, this is the little tease at the end of the video. As you can see, you can explore together. So looks like it's gonna have up to 4 players co-op. Great job. So now we've got affected. Yes, I said here, appeared on screen 2023. Very nice. Okay, another game, the game that you know already on original PlayStation VR, but now you will be knowing it as well on PlayStation VR2. The trailer showcases you what's got improved for PlayStation VR2 version. Oh, very nice 4K HDR graphics. I like this. Somebody said, oh, they put this 4080p and then change, you know, they should put just PSVR1 and PSVR2 instead of 1080p 4K. But anyway, blah, 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 blah. What I'm talking about rambling here. So yeah, all those updates plus also the brand new content, all of this is coming. There you go, see, you got some new content here. All of it will be coming to PlayStation VR2 version, which is very nice news. So if you own the game already, you're not gonna have to pay for upgrade anything. You're not gonna have to even buy like PSVR2 DLC or out. You're gonna just get it and buy it. Get it and download it, I mean, for free, the update, if you got the game. More zombies. Very nice. Really looking forward to finally play that one. Just looking at this trailer, looking pretty great. So I don't have a chance to play After the Fall originally, so now I'm glad it's gonna be on PSVR2. Now this is another one for the fans of the horror games. Already confirmed for PlayStation VR2 quite a while ago now. This is one of those early confirmed PSVR2 game, and this is Afterlife VR. You go into this mental institution, hospital, whatever it is, you play as a policeman. Something happened to your family member, something not so great. So obviously you're gonna have to go and investigate. So, you know, looking at this trailer, from what I'm seeing, looks like a alright horror game. With PSVR1 coming towards the end of its life, we didn't have that many horror games lately, but there's plenty of them. While you following this video, carry on watching, there will be even more, you know, horror games announced. If you're scared of needles, taking the health in this game might prove to be a challenge for you. But who knows, you might just overcome your fears. So this trailer just showing you some of the gameplay, definitely a very creepy atmosphere. This is a mouth, because we moved on to straight away to other game now. Suddenly ended that one. I prepared the video and now I'm just commenting on it. But listen, this is Agony VR, already confirmed for PlayStation VR2. I've done a video about it. The source is in my news video. Now that was a while ago, but basically they've done interview with one of Polish publications, gaming publications. And they said that yes, Agony VR will be coming to PlayStation VR2. There was, you know, on Kickstarter, the game went through Kickstarter, and it was confirmed that the game gonna get VR version, but then not much happened. But then the studio outsourced it to Ignibit, and now they're gonna be bringing you Agony VR to PlayStation VR2. If you're gonna like it or not, I don't know. The Flat Agony got mixed reviews until they updated it, but yeah, we're gonna wait and see. This is your Agony VR. And now only a picture. Aliens VR, I don't know why I put possible. Oh yes, I do know, I remember now. Because Survios announced Aliens VR game, definitely probably gonna come to PSVR2, but I don't want to take any risks in this video. They said it's coming to VR platforms and they only posted that picture. But stay tuned, as soon as I know more about Aliens VR, I will definitely let you know. Okay, this is a game that is your spiritual successor to Swords of Gargantua. Now listen, PSVR owners, I hear you, many of you who bought the Swords of Gargantua. I know what's happened to this game. I know many of you wasn't happy with the studio, but that's just what's happened. Anyway, they're doing another game, looking alright, you know, looking better than Swords of Gargantua, but also you will know when I'm talking about PSVR2 games, you will know which ones are coming to Quest 2 as well, because there's definitely this like a, I don't know, I don't want to say lower quality, because you know it is good quality game, but maybe not as advanced graphic styles, you will know. But anyway, this is Altair Breaker and it's coming to PSVR2. Now here I got little trailer, but of course this trailer is from PSVR1 version of one of the coolest shooter out there. I'm talking here of course about Alvo. You can see it in the background. I'm watching it with you because why not. So yes, it's coming to PSVR2. Another PSVR2 title is Among Us VR. Now during the Game Awards, the flatness of the Among Us VR announced that they have in hide and seek mode. As of now, I don't know if this hide and seek mode will be available on PlayStation VR 2. But anyway, Among Us VR originally announced for PSVR 1, not gonna happen now. It's coming to PlayStation VR 2. A popular title on PC, some people like it, I never played it. I never even have an urge to play it, but you know, a very, very popular game. And many people might want to play it, so you'll be able to do so on PlayStation VR 2. I think it's gonna be a crossplay with other VR versions. It's out on Quest now. Shame that PSVR 1 original didn't happen, but you know, just life. Not many developers now developing for PSVR 1, but at least we got another PSVR 2 game announced. And this is the one that is quite popular everywhere. So, you know, this is the title that people heard about. That's your little Among Us VR game. And now, this is another possible game. I've put it as possible, very inspired by mech games. This is a mech game. Anime, mechy animes. You know, your Evangelions and Gundams and all that. This is Bakemono Unit Brigade 10 Men something, I can't remember now, it's got super long title, but super cool looking game. Now, what's happening here is the developer said on Twitter that they will bring it to PSVR 2, but as of now, they looking for publisher. I see this game being picked up by someone, because if the more you look at it, this is like a trailer quite early. The more you look at it, it's super fun looking game, also for VR, you know, more fast paced, and mech games of course working great in VR, always. So yeah, that's your Bakemono anime inspired game, quite a hardcore game, let's say, when it comes to VR games, but yeah, pretty cool. There you have it. Okay, and now we've got here coming from Skydance Interactive, probably one of the super games on this list that I'm really hyped for.
There is only survival.
And of course I'm talking here about Behemoth.
The strength of your resolve is the only thing that will grant you another day.
Try not to talk too much during this trailer because it's pretty awesome.
Another breath. This place is relentless. It devours everything. And soon, it will take your mind. I have found no meaning to this struggle. But when the end comes for you, do not yield.
This grappling hook gonna be such a cool feature of this game. Well, I am super hyped. Even though it's cinematic trailer, it showcases, you know, how cool this game is. Can't come soon enough. Okay, so this is another title announced quite a while ago. The developer said that it's coming to PlayStation VR2. Now how the developers, I might actually send them a message to see how the development on this one progresses. But if you want, you know, some Wild West action that don't look like a cheap cartoon, like that was the most games we've had on PSVR1 that was looking like, you know, cartoonish, then this one is for you. Black Trial is the name of this game. It takes you to Wild West and you're doing a lot of different activities on different levels. Looks from the trailer to me like you're stuck in one place, but I might be wrong. And also you've got some cool levels as well, like on the train and stuff like that. So it's not just, well, here you just like escape the cell. So it's not just like, you know, this wave shooting or whatever, but also you will be doing other things in this game. And I must say, from what it looks like, it's an indie title, but one of those with maybe, let's say, a bit higher quality, which might be a lot of fun. Quite physically based, I see. You can pick up some objects and stuff. Okay, you assassinated somebody with blow darts. That's gonna be cool. I wonder if you have to blow yourself. Okay, so you are moving. Okay, so he's just been walking with this. So I was totally wrong. Ignore me. Black Trial, yeah, looking fun. I'm gonna see, check out what's going on with that game later on after I finish this video. Now, here we've got Blacktop Hoops. Now the game, I think they finished their Kickstarter now, and I think it was successful. The demo is out on Quest, but the developer said it will be coming to PlayStation VR2 as well. So this is yet another sport title that you'll be able to enjoy. And this is, if you like basketball, to me it looks like a, you know, VR inspired by your old NBA Jam games. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now a possible game. I put it as possible. I tell you what's happening with it. This is Blade and Sorcery. Now, if you go to their Discord, the developers got roadmap and they've got things to do in future. And one of the things on the roadmap, under the section to be defined, is PlayStation VR2 version. Now, when it comes to the Quest version, the developer never announced it until they released the trailer, until they was ready. They always like to do the work and then talk about it instead of talk about it and then doing the work. So I think, like, I'm 99% sure it will happen. Of course, disclaimer, when it is in to be defined section on Blade and Sorcery Discord, frequently asked questions, that means that it might happen, might not. But I'm assuming eventually, very soon, we're gonna get some update on it and probably reveal of PlayStation VR2 version. The trailer you see in here is for this Dungeons update, so it's not just arena fighting, but also you progressing through the levels, which is pretty cool, and much more updates coming soon to Blade and Sorcery. Okay, now this game, ever since announcement, a lot of comments when it comes to this one, because people of course want it on PlayStation VR2. And the developer said, yes, they might bring it to PlayStation VR2. So this is a game, Bloody Hell Hotel. As you can see in the trailer, gameplay perfectly suited for virtual reality. Oh, you just beaten somebody. So you own this super cool hotel, you like renovating it and everything. people coming here, but of course they know you're not pleasing them too. Of course you need to please them, but also of course you're gonna eat their blood. Very nice Robert Zemeckis or Tim Burton, let's say, art style, which is nice to see in video game. And yeah, this in VR would be pretty cool. So this is your Bloody Hell hotel game. We see what's gonna happen with that one. But the developer said they thinking about doing PlayStation VR2 version. Well, VR in general. So yeah, very nice. And now another possible game. First of all, we've got two from the studio, of course. You probably know I'm gonna talk about Bonelab and Boneworks. So let's maybe start from the Bonelab. Very popular on Quest 2, lately released. Now the developers, of course, when it comes to Boneworks and this one, been asked a lot about their games because everyone wants to play it. You know, the Quest owners, also the PSVR owners, and upcoming PlayStation VR2 owners. Now, listen, PSVR owners, Boneworks for PSVR probably won't happen. I think even if they could do it, you know, it wouldn't happen because of the controllers. But PSVR2 coming out soon. This Bonelab trailer, by the way, I'm watching it, it looks so much fun. But now, okay, moving on to the PSVR2, that's what we want to talk about. PSVR2 coming out soon. And what's happening is, I'm like 90% sure the developers will release it on PSVR2 because of course they're gonna want as many people as possible to play their games because they made some cool games. Boneworks and Bonelab, it's not their only games because they've done Duke Season as well, Hover Junkies as well. So yeah, so it's not their only games, but this looks like their most popular games. So now let's speak a bit about PSVR2 versions of those games, what they've been saying, because of course I do news channel here, PSVR News, you know, I follow the developers everywhere, trying to look all their posts, be it their website, Steam, Twitter, Discord, anywhere I can. So what they've been saying is, first of all, when PSVR2 controllers first got released, they said, oh yeah, this is so cool. I'm pretty sure they didn't have development kit back then, so they said, we don't have development kit, but I'm pretty sure we could bring our games to PlayStation VR2 with those controllers, because of course DualSense controllers are molded in the standard of VR controllers now, which is very nice for the developers. And also moving on, now here we got trailer from Boneworks now. To speak about it a bit more, moving on, let's talk also that on Twitter, people been asking them about, you know, their plans for the future, and if they got plans, if there's any chance, let's say, is there a chance for their games to come to PSVR2, and the developer said it is a very high chance. And also, what's even more encouraging, they said basically that they are 90% sure that their games, you know, can release on PlayStation VR2 platform. Now, don't forget, I'm gonna have to keep saying this thing a few times in the video, that PSVR2's, you know, development kit, I forgot the word, PSVR2 development kit is same development kit as for PlayStation 5, while with PSVR 1 it was different one, and it was quite difficult to make games for PlayStation VR 1, but with PlayStation VR 2 it's gonna be much easier. Like I said, their development kit is same as PS5, so it's gonna be super easy for the developers to get their games on PSVR 2. Very nice. So that was your Boneworks and Bonelab. Now let's move on to some more games. And now Cave Digger, I just look at the title here in the corner. I put Cave Digger Fig Harder. I can't edit here now, I'm just basically reacting to what I prepared myself. Of course, Cave Digger Dig Harder I want to talk about. This is already out on PSVR 2, but the developer said it will have a lot upgrades on PlayStation VR. I mean, it's out on PSVR 1, but it will have a lot of upgrade when it comes to PSVR 2 version. You know, this the trailer you seen, by the way, it's very early trailer. The game is pretty cool, had a lot of updates. You can go down there into the caves with your friends. With PSVR 2, of course, you're gonna get better haptics, better graphics. You get the eye tracking and everything. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's Cave Digger 2, it's getting PSVR 2 version. I'm gonna fast forward it because this trailer is actually very long. And now, Chernobyl. Oh, apparently I cannot spell. Chernobyl Again, and I forgot L, but don't matter. So what's happening with this game is, this is your exploration slash puzzle slash horror game happening in Chernobyl. They're using photogrammetry. Photogrammetry, of course, is when you scan the environment and transport it to VR. Published by Farm 51, the same studio who's done Chernobyl VR experience. Now, what's happened with this game is, it's still happening. The developer took it to the Kickstarter, but sadly, well, sadly or not sadly, I don't know, they decided to take it off from the Kickstarter. But they said they still will develop this game. And this game was in the development, they said, since 2020, so nearly 3 years ago. So they're saying they definitely gonna release it, coming of course to all the VR platforms. Okay, a cool title here. Now something different. So as you can see, PlayStation VR got something for everyone, and this is Cities VR. The game is already out on Quest, but this is footage from PlayStation VR version, and PlayStation VR version is the enhanced edition of this game. Of course, still, you know, if you look at PS4 version, it looks better than this VR, especially the trees and that, but I'm assuming it is based on the Quest version. But what you'll be able to do, probably have those massive cities, there will be better shading, better resolution, and a lot of fun. I used to play loads SimCity when I was little. I'm not so into city builders anymore, but when it's in VR, when I can do my own city in virtual reality, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. So that's your Cities VR Enhanced Edition, and coming from cool studio, Fast Travel Games. They always deliver cool stuff.
A wonderful place for the brightest young minds in the galaxy. Your attendance here is momentous. Now is the time to explore your sense of wonder.
Warning! The cafe has been commandeered by students!
Cafe being attacked. Okay, so now, this is Cosmonious High, coming from the same studio who brought you Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator, and now they bring in that one to PlayStation VR2. Very nice. I'm gonna here turn down the sound because I want to talk a bit about this game. A very, very, very good announcement for PlayStation VR2, based on a very popular IP. So popular that I didn't heard of it before I saw announcement of this game, but that's because I'm not the biggest online player. Loads and loads of people playing Crossfire, and now PlayStation VR2 owners gonna have very good treat in the form of this baby. This is Crossfire Sierra Squad. So you get everything what's in the flat games. Who play those? When you can play VR, why would you play flat? Yeah. So you get everything, all the levels and everything. You get all the co-op, all the multiplayer. It's gonna be here. But look at this gameplay. You can just catch a grenade and throw it back, which is pretty awesome. All your interactions here are physically based. There's no button pressing look like it, apart from firing the gun. Everything else, it's just this catching the grenade was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed that. But also, if you look at this trailer, graphically, this game looks pretty stunning. Look at this destructions, elements and everything. A very, very good PlayStation VR2 announcement. Probably gonna be one of bigger hits when it eventually releases. So yeah, I'll be waiting for that one. I'm glad also you don't have just hands, but full-on arms in this game as well. Very nice. So that's your Crossfire Sierra Squad. Now, Dyschronia. You probably heard of this game because it's meant to come out on PlayStation VR1. And when I've been doing my news video on the channel videos, in past when PSVR2 wasn't a thing, many people was looking forward to play it, and then this game never happened. The developer said on Discord, PSVR1 version probably won't happen, but they will do PlayStation VR2 version, which I'm assuming will be based on the PC version, higher graphics and everything. So yeah, very nice little kart racer if you're into kart racing. Of course, apart from single player campaign, the game will feature pretty fun multiplayer as well. Tons and tons of control options for this one as well, so you don't have to use your thumbsticks, but also you can just, use virtual steering wheel. I'm not sure if they're doing proper steering wheels as well in Dyschronia. I think they said something in the past, but anyway. Time to stop talking about Dyschronia because yet another title arrives. and this is yet another confirmed title. This is Demeo, already out on PC and on Quest, popular title and probably best resolution games VR game. By the way, speaking about resolution games, in 4 days time they gonna have their own showcase, so I'm assuming they're gonna reveal some more PlayStation VR2 games, and also I'm assuming they're gonna reveal some more gameplay from Demeo. So this is your, you know, if you are a fan of those tabletop games, then this one you might enjoy it. Play has no limits. Okay, so now here we need to talk about Distortion VR. This game is announced for PlayStation VR2. The gameplay is of course from PC. It took the developer a while to make this game, but it was an effort from a solo developer. He's finally made it. The game is out on PC. I don't know if it's as popular as he would hope so. So even though the game is confirmed for PlayStation VR2, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen or if he's gonna abandon it, because judging by the amount of reviews left on Steam page, not that many people bought this game. Distortion VR is your futuristic first-person shooter. Original plans for this game was to bring it to PlayStation VR1 with the aim controller support, but I don't think that's been happening now. But yeah, he said he's gonna port it to PlayStation VR2, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now, speaking of PSVR2, this is gonna be cool. Let's just turn up a bit the sound maybe. It's a scary game again, and this is Do Not Open. If you are a collector, by the way, Perp Games, they doing the disc version of this game, so you can buy it now. I think, well, I kind of don't know how VR version gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna be separate game or just upgrade. So this is another game when it was planned for PlayStation VR1, but eventually those plans was abandoned, and now it will be coming to PlayStation VR2. On, well, whenever PSVR2 releases, I don't know, well, we know it's gonna be February, but about this game, I don't know if it's gonna be you know, day one title, or is it gonna release the VR version some point after PSVR2 release. This is, you know, very nice, procedurally generated some of the clues. Horror, very nice. Okay, you saw the logo, Strange Game Studio, one company that PSVR owners really like. Now the trailer here is from Dropship Commander. I think, you know, it's showing flat and PlayStation VR1 version, but what the developer is saying is this game gonna get PSVR2 version as well. So it's out now. This is one of the newest PlayStation VR2 titles, because some people still makes PSVR2 games, which is very nice. PSVR1 games, I mean, they still happening every now and then. So it's a, you know, throwback to your Lunar Commander or whatever it was back in the day. You've got some harsh environments, and you have to land your little dropship in the spot without killing yourself and your crew. So very nice. Dropship Commander, coming from Strange Game Studio, a studio that released for us one of the first online shooters for PSVR1 when it was Honor and Duty. Okay, another announcement that just happened a week or so ago, and this is Drums Rock VR making its way to PlayStation VR2 with some of the pretty awesome heavy metal and rock bands. We don't have many rhythmic games announced for PSVR2. This is a game that's doing its own thing, don't trying to clone Beat Saber, and that's pretty cool. That's the thing what I like in this trailer, that bit what it just glimpsed in front of your eyes, which is basically you'll be able to play this game using eye tracking. Now, I don't know how you play VR rhythmic games using eye tracking. I'm assuming it's just gonna be like a separate mode for eye tracking, but I don't know. Anyway, you'll be able to you see the titles of the songs in the background. Of course, I cannot play them here because of copyright issues. But yeah, looking cool. So a lot happening, apart of course from your little free play. Here in the trailer you can see a bit of the campaign mode when you're fighting those big angry bosses. I think it's got like a sandbox mode as well. That's it, variation mode, that's what I meant. Look at that, he's just using boxing gloves and stuff. So yeah, looking cool. And of course, as it goes for good rhythmic game, You've got to have the leaderboards to go online and compare yourself to your friends to see who done best. So yeah, looking cool. A little title, another indie game, but looking nice. Can't complain at all. Let's see what's next. And here we have from the developer My Dearest comes Dyschronia, Chronos, alternate. You're going on PSVR2. You're gonna get 3 episodes at once. This game been coming out on Quest episodically. So this is your launch title. If you played Tokyo Chronos, this is like spiritually happening in this universe. So visual novel, and the studio usually does higher quality visual novels. Okay, I accidentally gone wrong there. Here started playing Cave Digger 2. Now, here we have a possible game. I put it as possible. This is Eco Wars Road Rage. Now, coming from Ivanovich Games, the same studio who's doing 2076 Midway Multiverse, and this happening in the same multiverse. So this is your Drive and Gun game, something what's definitely gonna be working pretty cool in virtual reality. Now, PSVR2 version is not announced. The game is announced for most of the headset, PC and Quest. PSVR is not announced yet, but I put it here because it's Ivanovich Games. Like I said, this studio usually releases their games on PSVR1. So I'm thinking now they probably gonna release it on PSVR2, but they didn't announce it yet. But of course, I cannot say 100% because the game might not happen as well. So there you go. This is a nice bit when you're driving like a dinosaur. That's gonna be cool in VR. So nice. Yes, this game claims to have no motion sickness. Now we need to know that the developer had a lot of experience from VR cards, where he managed to to release a nice kart racer which is supposed to have little no motion sickness. Okay, the game that used to be called Vanishing Act is called Engram now, coming from the Maze Theory. We're gonna talk about this studio again. Sadly, there is no footage for this game yet, but the developer already announced that this game will be coming to PlayStation VR2. Now moving on to another title, now already, and this is Exorcist Legion VR Scene. Now Scene, very nice game of words, stands from strength in numbers. And it's safety in numbers, that's it. And it's safety in numbers because this is your Exorcist Legion VR game, but with co-op mode. So if you like games like, let's say, Phasmophobia, that is not announced for PSVR2, then definitely you're gonna enjoy Exorcist Legion VR Scene because of this nice little co-op mode. There is no gameplay trailer yet, just this little teaser with writing on it. Okay, big one of the biggest games on this list. This is Firewall Ultra, coming from First Contact Entertainment. Don't need talk too much about Firewall. You know what it is, and now make it bigger and better, and you get Firewall Ultra.
If you're interested, the risk is high, but so is the reward. We have multiple contracts, from solo intel gathering to team strike force operations. Locations are hot, and you were never there. If you're compromised, you're on your own. Are you ready?
Can't wait for that one, looking amazing. Okay, and this is coming from the developer Cyan, whatever you saying it, and this is Firmament. This game, another one, was meant to come out on PlayStation VR1, but then the developer said, actually, there is no point of making this for PlayStation VR1, so they're gonna release it on PlayStation VR2 instead. They already had VR game on PSVR1, which was Obduction. But of course, Obduction was a port that kind of well, they made it for PC VR first and didn't really think about PSVR2. So it took them a while to get it right. When it first released, people was kind of like, why it's looking so bad? Then they upgraded graphics and everything, and it looks pretty nice, but it still don't have smooth locomotion. They said this time round they're thinking about PSVR straight away, but of course they don't have that much to worry about those days, because of course they gonna have much more power to play with, because this game gonna be releasing on PlayStation VR2. So yeah, very nice. Of course, one of part of this wall, all this, let's say, environmental storytelling, mystic atmosphere like you've got in Myst, one of their games, all Riven, you know, Obduction as well. So yeah, interested to see what that one gonna be. Let's fast forward it now, because that's one of those very long trailers. And now, okay, now Formula 1 VR game, we have to talk about that one. I'm gonna leave this trailer playing here. So then I accidentally fast forwarded it. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna also talk about it. So first of all, the gameplay you see in, it's what the developers posted on their YouTube channel, but it's from the PC version. Now, this game looks beautiful. Of course, it won't run on Quest. The only other platform they can bring it on is PlayStation VR2. When they was asked if this game coming to PSVR2, they said, you got nothing to say now, but never say never. And this never say never, that's because they said never say never, that makes me think that this probably gonna get PSVR2 support. If not Formula 1 2022, not that, if not that one, then the one that's gonna release next year. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. As soon as I got any news about PSVR2 version of Formula 1, I will let you know, but as of now, of course, need to be safe here on the channel. I'm gonna put it as possible PSVR2 game, but let's watch this video, because the game in VR looks amazing. So yeah, F1 2022 looking great, and somebody said that when the games are too fast in VR, people get motion sickness, please. Okay, so now another possible PlayStation VR2 game, and this is Flashout 3. Now once again, I'm gonna have to say, remember, PS5 got same development kit as PlayStation VR2. It's no messing around like it was with PSVR1, when the developers was struggling to develop on PSVR because it was much harder. This is the same development kits that developers are familiar with. That's why I've put Flashout 3 as possible game, because this game is on PC, of course, and it's gonna have VR support on PC, but also it's coming to consoles. That's why I'm saying here, so this is the gameplay, of course, of flat version, but look how cool and fast this game is. Of course, if you like Wipeout, you're gonna like this. So I can only assume that if it comes to PlayStation 5, if the port of PC version, it's gonna be exactly same game, which means it's gonna come with virtual reality mode, especially like I said, and I'm gonna hammer it down in this video, that it's the same, the development kit for PSVR2 is same as PS5. So when the developers porting their games, they don't need to do, they don't need to do too much changes. It's not nothing weird or odd, because they're working on same development kit. So, but of course they didn't announce that it's gonna have PSVR2 support yet. That's why I'm putting it as possible game, but definitely it would be nice game to see on PlayStation VR2. I think on PC they've got demo, where they already added VR to the demo, and they've got first person mode. Of course this trailer is in the third person, but on PC is a first person mode. Okay, let's fast forward it to next game. Okay, so as you can see here on the screen, coming to consoles as well. Now, you might say, why I'm adding Formula Retro Racing here? So this is a game inspired by your old school arcade classics, first 3D racing games, let's say. Formula Retro Racing already out, but this is, let's say, sequel called World Tour. Sorry, I'm talking so much that I must cough. Now, I'm talking about it here is because the Steam page of this game just got updated, and it's got updated with virtual reality support. Now, this game coming to PlayStation 5, so like I said, same development kit. If the PC version got virtual reality support, then hopefully PlayStation 5 version will have the same, but you have to wait and see. As of now, PS5 version you can wishlist now. I checked on store, they didn't updated that one yet, but stay tuned to the channel. If they will, I will let you know. Now this is a confirmed racing game, confirmed one, and this is Galaxy Card, coming from the developer of Rabbit Hole and Viking Days. I think Viking Days had update lately, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, this is yet another kart racer for virtual reality. They was working on it for a while. I think there was plans to bring it to PSVR1, but now I can only assume PSVR1 version won't happen, and this game, a nice homage to Viking Days down there. You've got some Viking boats. This bit reminds me of old school game I used to play, World Rally Fever from Team 17. But anyway, this is your Viking from the developer of Viking Days. They went into different direction and decided to do a racing game. Because they've been working on it for quite a while, I think they've got quite a lot of things now, worked out to make this gameplay fun and interesting. Now, I don't know how hyped you are for kart racers on PSVR2, but maybe some people will enjoy them. I don't know. Now, that was your Galaxy Card with flying hot dog in space. Okay, so this is another upcoming PlayStation VR2 first-person shooter called Ghost of Tabor. Now, this trailer is cinematic trailer. What the developer is trying to show here is basically pretty much every single locomotion option and peripheral that they planning on supporting. Also lately they showed off some weapons pack for this game, and they're gonna let you use John Wick's weapons in this game. So if you want to feel like John Wick in virtual reality, then you'll be able to in Ghost of Tabor. So when it comes to shooters on PlayStation VR2, multiplayer shooters, the situation already looks much better than it was with PlayStation VR1. This game gonna have quite a large map as well, gonna release on everything, so it's coming to Quest 2, also it's coming to PC. But the developer said the PC and Quest 2 release will be in March, and then after that release, they will be doing the PSVR2 version. So there is not exact release date, they didn't say nothing about crossplay or out, but I could only assume that it will have crossplay as well. So yeah, if you like online shooters, you've got quite a lot of games now to look forward to, because this is not the last one on this list. We're gonna have, I think, one or two more as well. So pretty cool, but already, Crossfire Sierra Squad, Firewall Ultra, now you've got this, it looks so much better. The cinematic trailer looks great as well, but of course it's just cinematic, so it's not a proper gameplay, but gameplay wise the game looks similar anyway. So yeah, Ghost of Tabor for all of you multiplayer shooter fans. Very nice, there you go. You can put your weapons on the wall and pick up your backpack. And then do some crafting and collecting. Nice tin of cold red kidney beans. Chased by energy drink. Very healthy diet. Let's check. His leg hurts. Okay. So there you have it. Connection established. Let's play Ghost of Tabor online. Very cool trailer the developers did.
Welcome to the Tabor marketplace.
Okay, so that's the marketplace. We're gonna fast forward those bits. We don't need that. Okay, so now another game. Now this trailer is from the Quest version. So I do hope that when the PSVR2 version releases, I do hope the game will look better. I don't mean it looks bad, but definitely looks, let's say, not too advanced graphically. Let's say that. But everything else, gameplay-wise looks amazing. So collaboration between Sony's Pictures Virtual Reality. Now I know you're gonna say, why Sony releasing the games on Quest? This is the different division of Sony. This is not the gaming division, so they probably like licensing. I mean, they're making their own games as well, so I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is. It's happening. So this is your Ghostbusters VR, of course, supporting very nice co-op mode, so you can play with your friends. Giant boss, just like in Behemoth. Behemoth just looks so good. So yeah, that's your go. This art style here looks nice. Okay. Many of you probably enjoyed Everybody's Golf on PlayStation VR 1. We didn't have that many golf games, but for PS VR2 we already got one announced. This game used to be called Pro Put, I think, or something like that, but they then changed the name to the Golf Plus, rightfully so. Now listen, this trailer, of course, it's from the Quest version, so PS VR2 version probably gonna look better. What this game features is very realistic golfing experience, so they went for realism when it comes to physics and stuff, but also what they've got going for it, what's pretty cool, is the real life equipment. So if you're playing golf, you can get yourself the maybe same equipment what you're using in real life, but also real life golf courses, which is pretty cool. So some of you, like I said, who plays golf, who knows, maybe you play of those. I never heard, look at that, that's a big golf course. I think they do got some fantasy one like as well. But yeah, looking cool for the golf fans. So that's your little golfing game. Let's fast forward it now. And okay. So now, another game I want to talk about here is Gran Turismo 7 PSVR 2 mode. Now I've put it as possible game. I'm 99.9999999% sure that this game will happen and that this game will release, but of course we have to wait for official announcement, and I want to be safe here in this video and, you know, to make sure I only give you the names of the games that definitely coming, and if they not coming for 100%, let's say they 90% confirmed or not officially confirmed yet, then I'm gonna put it as possible game. Now this is like one of those games when you just feel like it's got to get VR mode. If Sony doing VR, then they probably not gonna get away with having Gran Turismo flat, but not playable in virtual reality. Now I went in similar direction with Green Hell VR, probably definitely going to PlayStation VR 2, but for now at least I'm gonna put it as possible. And I'm only do so is because when I did videos in past about this game and said the developer did interview and said it's coming to PSVR 2, that was my mistake. Even though he's been speaking Polish somehow, and I am Polish, somehow I misunderstood it, which is weird. But what's happened is they said it's coming to PlayStation VR platform. They didn't said which PSVR. Now, of course, let's don't be, you know, silly here. It's gonna be probably PSVR 2, but maybe they want to have a nice big official announcement for this game instead of just like a little interview in some Polish, you know, magazine what not many people are gonna read it anyway. So PC gonna be based on PC version. I'm assuming Quest version was kind of like cut down, it had cut content. PC version was your, you know, full flat experience, but in VR with physically based interactions and everything. Beautiful looking game. PC people always want those great games to come to PC. You know, they're high quality games, but sometimes they just not buying them, and I don't understand why. This is if like one of those must-have games when it comes to PlayStation VR 2. Of course, the date here is for Steam version, which come out this summer. Okay, another game, time to move on. This is Grimlord, and it's not just a combat fighting game, as this trailer might suggest, because combat looks pretty cool. You've got tons of weapons, plenty of enemies to destroy, but this is actually not your Blade and Sorcery clone or something, you know, not your Hellsweeper Arena. This is a virtual reality RPG game with proper RPG elements, on some potions, but of course with very cool combat, because if you're doing game, you know, what's happening in medieval times, and it's got virtual reality support, you've got to have cool combat in it, cool physically based combat. So you've got proper your nice decapitations there, you've got proper physically based actions, but also of course there will be some spells and stuff like that. So yeah, Grimlord looking pretty cool. I spoke about this game on the channel before because they're gonna support Catwalk, and Catwalk themselves, they said that they're gonna support it on PlayStation VR2 as well. Okay, moving on to the next games, and now I'm putting Half-Life Alyx as a possible game because I don't want to have it as very nice as confirmed, because it's not confirmed. There is a big rumor going around that it's coming to PSVR2 at some point in 2023. This is like a insider rumor, let's say, apparently. But also the developers themselves said they want as many people as possible to play this game. Of course, on PSVR1 it wouldn't happen. Even if they could pull off some magic and run it on PS4 hardware, the controllers probably wouldn't be good enough to have it, you know, to play it in VR on PSVR1. But with PSVR2, everything is possible. So this is one of those games what I'm just waiting for announcement. Now it's all up to Valve, it's all up to them, but apparently there is a deal reached, you know, Sony reached deal with Valve to have Half-Life Alyx published on PlayStation VR2, and that would be pretty cool because of course it's one of the best ever made virtual reality games and must-have title. Half-Life flat Half-Lives of course come to the consoles and Portal games and stuff, so hopefully that will happen. Fingers crossed. Stay tuned to the channel. Like I said, there is this big rumor that Sony reached the agreement with Valve to have it, but we won't know until something gets announced officially. But it would be nice to have it, because I know how many of you would like to play it. Okay, another game possible. Now, I spoke about it last week, I think. So, once again, I'm gonna have to say PlayStation 5 got same development kit as PSVR2. The developers don't need to, you know, go out of their way to have VR versions of the game. So, what's happening here is this game, the developer said, is coming to consoles. But also, Steam version just not long ago had VR mode update. It's a bit different, which is nice. You don't want to have all games the same, yeah? It's always nice to have some variety. If you played, let's say, Tekken VR mode on PlayStation VR1, then it's kind of plays like that. So you're still gonna use your gamepad, you're not gonna use your motion controllers. You will be using your gamepad to control your characters, but you will be seeing them in this virtual environment. So this is a very realistic, let's say, sword fighting game. Done by one of the Witcher's 3 animators, I think, and motion capture artists. So, of course, you saw the headset glimpsing on screen here. That, of course, was for Steam. So on Steam, you can play this game in VR already, but like I said, it's coming to consoles. So hopefully, with this development kit, I'm gonna keep saying it being same for PSVR2 and PS5. Every feature of PC version will be ported to PS5, and one of those features is, of course, the PSVR, the virtual reality mode for the game. So very nice. Okay, moving on to the next game, and this is your Hello Neighbor game. Announced when they've been announcing the first batch of pre-orders for PlayStation VR2. Of course, now you can pre-order PSVR2 without invitation, no invitation needed. You can just go and order it. I've done a video about it other day. Hello Neighbor, very popular franchise. This one is called Hello Neighbor French. I don't know why I said that. Search and Rescue. I think Hello Neighbor 2 just released. I don't know. This is one of those games I never played. I don't really play flat games anyway, but yeah, I might give it a go in virtual reality. It's like, you know, this to me it looks like this hide and seek type of game, and the person was caught, so you have to plan some action. Strangely enough, this game coming to PlayStation VR1 as well, but it will come to PSVR2 also. Very nice. So that's Hello Neighbor, Search and Rescue. Wow, some sliding around, ziplining. Wonder how it's gonna play with move controllers. I'm sure it's gonna play great with PSVR2 Sense controllers though. Okay, and now title that many people wanted on PlayStation VR1. The developers themselves, they've tried to have it on PlayStation VR 1, but sadly it proved to be an impossible task, because of course it's not only the controls but the game itself, you know, you're looking at the graphics and everything. Sorry for that, I'm gonna not edit this coughing out, I just want to get on with the video. So yeah, when it comes to graphics and everything, I think it was just not so possible to make this game running on PlayStation VR 1, but with PlayStation VR 2 around the corner, the developers of Hellsweeper Arena said they're gonna do it for PS VR 2. This game kind of got announced originally as Hellsweeper, and it's supposed to be like a story-driven game maybe, where you're going through the levels and everything, but they changed it all and decided to focus mostly about the combat, which seems like the right call, because the combat in this game is great. Of course, I played it on PC. So yeah, once it comes to PlayStation VR 2, I hope it's gonna be within the first year, so 2023, because it's definitely a cool game to experience for the PlayStation VR 2 owners. It's really, really good to play. It's not, you know, it's not your brainless waving the weapon. There is some skill involved, you know, you can upgrade your character, so it's got like a RPG elements, let's say. You can get better weapons as well. Here he's got health, some potion. So yeah, it's got a lot going on. With some updates they've had, you know, horse riding even, so you know, that's pretty cool, like an animals update. So they taking this game in different direction, and it's pretty cool. This trailer shows off, I'm laughing because this trailer shows off really cool what this game is all about. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool PlayStation VR 2 title when it comes eventually. I do hope it's gonna be soon. Okay, let's fast forward to the next game. And now, coming from the developers of very popular Sariento VR, still baffles my mind how they manage Sariento's VR movement to have it on PlayStation VR 1 without the thumbsticks, and they managed to do it. This is, let's say, like a spiritual successor to Sariento VR, which is Hellsweeper VR. So when it comes to the movement and locomotion systems, it's gone even crazier, which is pretty awesome, because you can do some awesome stuff, you know, all your wall running and sliding and everything is here. But also what they added is you've got your normal weapons, you know, like guns and stuff, but also you've got your melee weapons, and also they added some magic. Now, I don't have to say, I think, too much how much more advanced graphically this game is than Sariento VR, and also how original the art style of this game and the design of the enemies is, and the levels and everything, even your hands and character, it's all got those so many little cool details. It's gonna be such a cool title when it releases. Of course, combat in virtual reality, this character here, that's just gonna look great in VR with this long neck. Combat games, physically based combat games, always great on PSVR. Okay, the game I spoke about 10 million times now, PSVR2 biggest launch title, this is Horizon Call of the Mountain. Nice. That was the latest trailer from the Game Awards. And here, lately released on PC, a game called Hubris VR. Some people liking it, some people saying it looks beautiful, but AI of enemies and combat is a bit bland. I don't know. I always think when it comes to PC players, they always want those awesome games, better looking, you know, better graphics, because most of the time it's you know, little indie titles, and when they come they moan. But anyway, I don't know, I didn't play Hubris yet, but I'm gonna want to check it out. Now, another game here, we've got one of the early PlayStation VR 2 announcements, and this is Hyperstacks, a platformer game, but also not only the platformer, because apart from platforming, the developer saying this game gonna have a quite powerful level editor as well. So if you're feeling a bit creative, you can design your own levels. When I said platformer, no platformer, not like, I don't know, Astrobot or Moss or Merville's. but you know, your first-person virtual reality platformer. So that's your HyperStacks. Next game is Possible. So this is Invincible. Now listen, the originally developer said they're gonna do VR mode for PSVR1, but of course that didn't happen. Then once they started publishing the new trailers for the game and everything, the VR player, FR, you know, one of the VR websites, they reach out to the developer and ask if they do in PSVR2 version. And they said, probably yes, it will come, but that's gonna be at some point after the release of flat version. That's why I've put this game as possible instead of confirmed.
That view. It made the climb worth already.
So you're on top.
Yes.
Activity within radius?
I heard no beeps, and I see no dots. Shit. How?
What?
I found him.
Very well. Now keep your distance and be careful.
It's too late.
What? I can't hear you.
It's too late to keep...
Yasna, what is it? Why is it too late? Yasna, speak to me!
He's looking for others. He's...
You. What have you done?
And the plot thickens. Now, little disclaimer, this trailer is from the episode 2 for Jurassic World Aftermath, and it's of course the Quest trailer. So, the game coming to PlayStation VR 2, it won't come episodically, it's gonna be 2 episodes releasing at once. That's why it's called Jurassic World Aftermath, the collection. The game is out on Switch already, this collection, but of course Switch is flatness. So it's coming to PlayStation VR 2, it's got those cartoonish graphics and everything, but at least we're gonna get the game happening in the world of Jurassic Park. Okay, and another game here, we've got Kizuna AI, Touch the Beat. And this one is your launch title for PlayStation VR 2, lately announced, the latest launch title. So Kizuna AI, of course... Do I get cold or something? I keep sneezing and coughing. Kizuna AI, of course, is your... some YouTuber, one of those virtual YouTubers, what people in Japan somewhere like it. But they've got no game with this character, because why not? And this game will be coming to PlayStation VR 2 and also PlayStation VR 1, but later on. Okay, moving on to another game, and we're gonna begin from Lon, which is playing here in the background.
Yes, an old nuclear test site. Watch out for any remains of contaminated radioactive material.
Okay. Looking nice. So this is the latest shooter that come out on PC. On PSVR Without Parole channel, Brian said that they reached out to the developer and basically they said yes, they got everything what they need to port this game to PlayStation VR 2. One of those higher quality titles, and of course plays with VR great because it's got a lot of physically based interactions and it's a cool looking title. I like what I'm seeing. So probably gonna be picking that one up. You've got little even shield, look what you can defend yourself from the drones. So yeah, it is not so long ago on PC, but already many people praising it for being a pretty cool game. So nice, it's been in the development like forever and eventually it's happened. I'm glad looking at this trailer that they've got proper jumping instead of like, you know, this teleport jumping. That's so much better when they're doing it that way. Now let's fast forward to another game. Because of course very long trailer. There you go. I've put Lost Ember here. Now this game I put as possible. Originally on their website the developer said they might be doing PSVR 1 version. Yeah, that was years ago, like 4 years ago or whatever, but of course didn't happen. If you go to their Discord now, they saying PSVR 1 not happening at all, but they're gonna try to release this game on PlayStation VR 2. So you becoming this, you can become like different creatures in this game to traverse through this world. It was a game I wanted to play, that's why I didn't play it flat version. So I was quite excited to try it in VR on PlayStation VR1, but sadly didn't happen, so now I have to wait for PSVR2 version. But of course stay tuned to the channel for some news, because it's not like 100% confirmed PSVR2 version. The developer just said that they're gonna try to do it, you know, with PSVR2 releasing soon. They said they're gonna try to do it. To me, I think it's an Unreal Engine game, plus they already got VR version working on the PC, VR mode. So hopefully it's gonna be kind of easier task for them to port this game to PlayStation VR than what it was to have it on PlayStation VR 1, which seems like it was kind of impossible for them to do. So that's your Lost Ember. Now this is another one of those long trailers. And here we've got Lo-Fi coming from solo developer. Announced years ago, one of the first PlayStation VR2 games announced. This is your cyberpunk or neo-noir, developer like to say, I don't know why, but whatever, same thing to me, looks like it. This is you becoming a cop in this futuristic city, but the developer kind of gives you the freedom. So you can either be a good cop and just do things what good cops do, or you can become a bad cop and, you know, do some bad stuff for your own benefit. So it's gonna be up to you. The game will be coming to PlayStation 5 as a flat game as well, but also will have virtual reality support. Like I said, this is one of the first ever PSVR2 games announced. So yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that one. Now moving on, another possible game. This is Madison, a quite popular horror game now, quite a newish game. Now what the developer said, I'm gonna put it here as possible, but it's probably gonna happen because they pretty much said it is happening, but they didn't do this official announcement to anyone. They just said, yeah, you know, looks like it's gonna be releasing on PlayStation VR 2. Like I said earlier on in this video, during the end of the life of PlayStation VR 1, there is not that many horror games. Past last 2 years, you know, there's not that many been releasing. But now with PSVR 2 around the corner, there is quite a lot actually horror games in the development. So if you are a fan of this genre, and I'm not talking, you know, silly zombie games, which is way too many of them when it comes to virtual reality titles, but I mean proper nice story-driven atmospheric horror games. There is quite a lot of them, and Madison is one of them as well. So yeah, that might be happening well, it probably will be happening, but just in case, I want to put it as possible game, just to be on safe side, but I'm really pretty sure that you're gonna get it on PlayStation VR 2. And looking at this gameplay, it looks like this game is perfectly suited, you know, for virtual reality. The actions you have to do and everything. So yeah, if you are a fan of the genre, of course you have to have long corridor, as in every horror game with flickering lights. But yeah, if you are a fan of the genre, then definitely something to look forward to. Nice. Squeaky floor. Very nice. Scary noises. So yeah, of course, you don't have to wishlist it on Steam. I forgot to tell you that, because it's coming to consoles as well, of course, and PlayStation VR 2. As always, for every trailer, you have to have some last bit scary stuff. And here you've got it in the form of this little environment. Just want to show you a full trailer for Madison, because I think it's a pretty cool horror title. Another game, 100% confirmed, coming from Top Leads Productions. They like to do their Dynasty game. I think they've got one in Wild West and some other ones. But this is yet another one, and this is Medieval Dynasty. So, as you can see, you've got some hunting, and that's gonna be, of course, physically based and everything. Also, there will be some combat, but the important element for this game is building your own village. The game is out on Steam, and people building some pretty cool, you know, very nice medieval villages in the community of this game, because this game is very liked by people who bought it. So the developer said, already announced that yes, they will be doing PlayStation VR2 version. So like I said, apart from hunting, protecting, fighting, you have to also build and manage. Oh, there you go, this is like some thieves, I'm assuming, what you're gonna have to fight in the game, so they got scared. This is, you can see in the picture, a bit of a village, what you'll be able to build. This trailer is cinematic, but of course the game is still looking great. You can check out the Steam version. Okay, now let's talk about some maybe platformers with some combat element, and this is Mixture. Now this game, you can see the character kind of inspired by Moth, but this game plays kind of like Moss, you know, so you got this character what you controlling with your, well, I'm assuming motion controllers here, but plays like, you know, your classic platformer games, but also you've got yourself. So in Moss you've had a reader, in this one you've got this alchemist, I think what it is, what helps your character. So it's kind of this, you playing co-op with yourself, I like to say, in those type of games. So it still, you know, still uses virtual reality and plays with it, but in a bit different way, and I always think it's always nice to have variety. The game got confirmed quite a while ago now, gonna come to PC VR headsets and also Oculus Quest headsets, but also the developers said they be releasing this game for PlayStation VR2 as well. So there you have it. Now, I spoke about Moss, and look at that. I'm gonna speak about it properly. So, Moss Book 1 and 2. Lately, the developers announced that they will be doing PlayStation VR2 versions. Of course, the video what you seeing here is from the Moss Book 2 on PlayStation VR 1. PlayStation VR 2 version will have a lot of improvements, better graphics. They even will be utilizing eye tracking. You're gonna use your motion controllers this time, so the gameplay gonna be much more natural. But it's not gonna be free upgrade, you're gonna have to pay for that one. So that's your Moss. Now, here, moving on to next game, I put it as possible. This is Neolithic Dawn, and this is your survival / crafting game happening in the old good times of old lands. So, as you could see, there's a woolly mammoth you can meet. So, I put it as possible because the developer wants to bring it to PlayStation VR 2. But what they saying is, so yeah, nice third-person camera. You can climb the animals. What they saying is, yes, selfie in those days. In VR, everything is possible. What they saying is, basically, they looking for publisher. Took me a while to say it. Games like that I always find they are quite popular because, of course, you want to re-experience those days. Well, experience something what is not here anymore. Okay, now this game needs no introduction. Very popular game already on PlayStation VR 1 and of course coming to PlayStation VR 2 with beautiful looks and beautiful graphics. This is No Man's Sky VR. With PlayStation VR 2, I'm assuming it's gonna look great. Okay, moving on to the next game. This is Oxide Room 208. Lately announced, the developer just starting development of this game. Oxide Room 104 or 108, I can't remember properly the name now. Just come out not long ago and people really liked it. So the developer doing basically the sequel. But what they saying is there's a very, very high chance, it's not confirmed yet, but there is a high chance that their game will be having PlayStation VR 2 support this time around. This teaser here, not showing much, just this human. The game gonna utilize Unreal Engine 5, I think, this time around as well. But what the developer is saying is they already started the development on the game. You can see here a little teaser, the development has begun, so it might be your possible PlayStation VR 2 game. Very nice. Okay, and now a very popular PC VR shooter, and yes, one of the first, if not the first ever, PlayStation VR2 game that got announced. So this is Pavlov. Now I'm a bit confused. On Discord in past, the developer been saying that they doing for PSVR2, they doing Pavlov Shack. Now I don't know if that's the case or not anymore. I'm showing here a trailer from normal Pavlov game because of course Pavlov Shack is a quest version. And to me, PSVR2 wouldn't have problem with running Pavlov, you know, easily. Plus, with the amount of good first-person shooters that they are on PSVR2, I don't think Pavlov Shack, I don't think many people would want to play, you know, cut-down version of Pavlov. You would want to have a proper full-blown experience. That this is just flashed the zombie mode they added. Okay, and now I put this game as possible game as well, because it's not announced for PSVR2 yet, but it's coming from the Maze Theory. It's a big franchise, just like Doctor Who. So Maze Theory did Doctor Who and released it on every single headset. And I'm assuming same gonna happen with Peaky Blinders, the King Ransom. So the game I think just come out or is about to come out on PC and Quest. No PSVR2 announcement yet, but like I said, I'm assuming it's just a matter of time until they announce it. The game features some of the original cast. When I spoke about it before in past, many of you told me in the comment section to go and watch the series. I still didn't watch it, but you know what, maybe I will eventually, I don't know. Okay, moving on to the next game, let's fast forward the trailer. So another game that needs no introduction for PlayStation VR owners, you all know it very well. PlayStation VR 2 version is coming, and this is Pistol Whip. If you own Pistol Whip, it's gonna be free upgrade, you're not gonna have to wait. So different developers got different way around it. Some developers just doing cheaper PSVR 2 versions for original owners. Some of them charge you everything like Moss, and some of them like After the Fall, No Man's Sky, Pistol Whip, they just gonna do free upgrades. So very nice. Okay, and another game lately announced, this is Prison Simulator VR. So if in this game you becoming a prison guard, you can do what you want. You can be good one, play properly, or you can annoy the prisoners. Somebody in my comment section said, I work in prison, why do I want this crap? My answer is just don't buy it. Don't get angry about it, get over it. Okay, and another one, another game, Project Louisiana, The Bounds VR. Not that much shown from this game, apart from this like a zoom, slow moving, you know, cameras showing of the environments. But this is your yet another upcoming PlayStation VR 2 horror game. Another long trailer, what I'm gonna fast forward. Speaking about games and horror games, Propagation, this is another one. Propagation Paradise Hotel. The developer said this one will be coming to PlayStation VR 2. I don't know, original Propagation, I don't think it will happen, but this one will. Of course, another game with zombies, plenty of them, but hopefully, you know, this one, Propagation, looks pretty cool. Okay, next game, and now I've put Resist as a possible game. Now it's not announced, but what's got announced just now is the PC VR version of this game, and I'm assuming if it's coming to PC it will come to PlayStation VR 2. It's been out on Quest. This is your superhero type of game. Now why I think it's gonna come to PlayStation VR 2 is because this game is developed by Binary Mill, and Binary Mill of course released already games on PlayStation VR 1, like your Gun Club, like your Rouge, Mini Motor Racing X. So every single game what they making, they always bringing it to PlayStation VR 1 as well. So that's why it makes me think maybe they just didn't announce it just yet, but that's what makes me think they're gonna bring this one to PlayStation VR 2. You can see a nice cool open world city and also nice mechanics, so you can like feel like a superhero. You even got your little ziplines to shoot out, so you can feel like a Spider-Man. So yeah, might be quite popular title. So as of now, announced for Steam VR only, but I'm gonna put it as possible game because I think it's gonna happen on PlayStation VR 2, and same when it comes two possible games. This is Red Matter 2. The developer lately did an update that's apparently gonna allow them to bring the game to other platforms. What other platforms are, of course, PlayStation VR2. They've done eye-tracking update for Quest Pro. This game, by the way, one of the most beautiful looking games on Quest. But also now they're gonna do it, hopefully, it looks like it. They're gonna do PlayStation VR2 version, especially with this latest update, but you just have to wait. We have to wait and see. Stay tuned to the channel. As soon as I know, I'll let you know. Okay, another game, think of it as a Skyrim VR. So this is RPG that has been in the development for last 4-5 years, I think. Arafin, known as Return to Nangrim, getting VR version. The developer said it's gonna be coming to PlayStation VR2, PS5 version gonna have ray tracing, I think. So it would be interesting if they're gonna manage to pull off ray tracing in VR. That would be nice, something what I didn't saw yet, I don't think. Another game, I spoke about it not long ago. This is Requisition, and the meaning and the message of this game is you defending yourself from zombies again, because of course virtual reality likes to attract zombie games, but this one got some cool mechanics going for it, and what they are is basically very nice crafting mechanics, very advanced crafting, but also type of crafting that lets you make some hilarious weapons. You can see like some of the bits and bobs what you crafted here in this trailer, but yeah, you can get like plunger, whatever, make something funny with it, even the toaster. So yeah, the developer definitely had big imagination when it comes to the crafting in the game. Okay, another game, don't need introduction too much. Let's fast forward this trailer. So this is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, I know many people are worried that there is not much information when it comes to this game, but it was already announced that it's coming to PlayStation VR2. We don't know just in what shape or form. All we know is that this game gonna have PlayStation VR2 content in it. It's not cancelled, so do not worry, it is happening, but stay tuned to the channel. As soon as I got any announcements, I will let you know. Now, speaking about Resident Evil, a game that needs no introduction at all, this is Resident Evil Village, PlayStation VR2 version. Of course, in this video we've got some smaller games, but also some bigger games. And this is, well, probably not get any bigger than this when it comes to the horror games in virtual reality. Resident Evil Village on PlayStation VR2 is going to be pretty awesome. Now, all I know is if you're on PlayStation 5 version, then you'll be able to play VR version, but I don't know if you're gonna have to buy DLC or not. Also, what we don't know yet is the release date of Resident Evil Village. So stay tuned to the channel, and as soon as I know, I will let you know, but I do cross my fingers, hoping that this is going to be a launch title. Beautiful. Okay, and now another game, very short teaser here. I'm gonna have to actually quickly pause it. R-Type Final 3. I told you R-Type is coming to PlayStation VR2, but the developer Granzella announced the content, the PSVR2 content will be limited and basically only to the takeoff sequences, but you'll still be able to see it on PSVR2. And during the first announcement they said it's gonna be free update to R-Type Final 2, but if that's still the case or not, I do not know. Moving on. Okay, a game that I spoke on this channel many times. This is Runner. I actually spoke about it yesterday as well, because it's had update on Quest, but of course all the updates gonna come to PSVR2. So they add in like a cruise mode, so you can just go around the city on your bike listening to music. But this is a very cool game when you can drive and gun as well. It is not on rails as you would think, but it is a proper, you know, you proper in the control of the bike, and you have to just, you know, survive and progress. Okay, let's watch a bit more of this trailer, because I love the soundtrack for this game. Okay, so let's finish that. Let's get quick. I've got confused. Okay, so now Saints and Sinners. We're gonna talk about that one. Yet another games that coming to PlayStation VR2. Now, Saints and Sinners 1 definitely gonna get remastered because there is a special edition on PS VR2 what you can order, which includes first and second game. I'm not sure if you'll be able to buy first remastered separate or not. I don't know. Now, listen, Saints and Sinners already out on Quest Chapter 2. PSVR1 version, I don't know if it's still happening or when it's happening, but PSVR2 version of Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 will be with you at the end of March, so only 4 months away. Looking cool.
It was I who shined as a beacon of hope for all. The tower cries out for blood, and I vow to spill it. When the bells ring, the song they sing will be righteous.
Great, sorry, I've been messing around with sound here. So yeah, that's Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 and 2 coming your way. Of course, for PSVR2 it's not 2022. Okay, and next one up, this video is so long, but this is Samurai Slaughterhouse, one of another early announcement for PSVR2. Let's maybe turn down the sound so you can hear me properly. This is another combat game. This one got quests, what you have to do as well, and very, very original art style. This black and white art style, but with very red and a lot of blood. Nice. Shadowgate VR, Minds of Mythrock. So during one of PSVR Parole's games casts, Wes, I think, said they spoke to developer, I can't remember now. And basically the developer said yes, they're working on PSVR2 version. Shadowgate, a series that's been going on since forever, and it's out already on PC and Quest. As you can see here, but don't listen to this date, it's coming to PlayStation VR2 as well. Very nice. And a game, a platformer game, a combat game, kind of reminds me a bit maybe of Battletoads, but that's because one of character is a frog. This is Soul of Keru. Now the trailer you're seeing here is the prototype trailer, so the game might look different, or because it's still in prototype stages, it might not even happen, but as of now the developer said it's coming to PlayStation VR2. So you kind of playing it like you're playing Moss and that mixture game what I spoke about earlier. You interact in first person with the environment and everything, but you control your characters with thumbsticks and buttons. And you can see helping your character in the darkness, showing you some abilities, some combat. There you go, that's your combat in the game. The studio what's making this game done some animation work, so that's why their characters looking very nicely animated in this game, and very original character, a little frog. Who would have thought that somebody gonna do something like that in 2022 or 3, whenever this game releases. Okay, and now we've got another one, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. Now it is enhanced because of course the game is out on Quest, but they made it bring it to proper PSVR2 standards. Also on Quest you have to buy 2 episodes separate. On PSVR1, on PSVR2 you're gonna just get 1 game. You're gonna pay 39.99 quid, I think it is, and then you can have it. Also, it looks like the game getting disc version. If you go to the Play Asia, you can already register your interest in the disc version. I spoke about it yesterday. As always, when it comes to PSVR2 games, I don't know if that's gonna be digital first and then disc version comes eventually, or will they release the disc version on same day? I have no idea. But if you want some Star Wars games in VR, then you get in a decent one in the form of Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Also coming from the developer of virtual reality is the Stranger Things VR. I've got the photo from the game here. Somehow I cannot upload the trailer because Netflix goes and strikes me. But anyway, Stranger Things VR game is happening. Now here we've got another game that is happening, And this is the Suicide Guy, but virtual reality version that is deluxe, because the graphics and everything will be better on PlayStation VR2. And of course the game on PS VR2 will be called The Guy instead of Suicide Guy. Okay, a game that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago. You here in your settlement, let's say, you know, scavenging. You have to survive. That's why it's called Survival Nation. You collecting your resources because you have to stay alive, and you have to stay alive because, of course, yet again, some zombies are coming to attack you. So you have to have enough energy, enough stamina, and also enough resources to fight the zombies. Look at that, you just found some chocolate. As you could see on the wrist, you've been level 13, so the game got nice leveling up mechanics. And also some hunting, if you want to hunt, but of course eventually it's all gonna come down to fighting the zombies, as you can see here. Now some of you told me that you're not happy, let's say, with the graphics of this game, but hey, it's an indie game. I'm sure it won't cost $60, it will be cheaper, and at least they added some manual reloading in case you want to feel more realistic in this world. So that's the Survival Nation coming from Wenclay Studios. It's gonna come to Pico first, I think, and Quest and PSVR version will be coming in 2023. Now here I've got a trailer, that's an old trailer now, from the Swordsman 1, but what the developer said is the Swordsman will have the PlayStation VR2 upgrade or PlayStation VR2 edition. Another game that was originally in the development, I lost it now, only short teaser, for PSVR1, but the developer started tagging it for PSVR2. This is Tempus 84, a game where you got stuck in time. You are like a time traveler and got stuck in time, and that's why. Okay, now another one already out on Quest. This is coming from the same publisher that published Gorn, Devolver. Of course, different studio developed it, but same publisher. So they still publishing some virtual reality games. And this is Tentacular. So you are this little, what I'm talking about. You are this big, massive octopus, and you helping the citizens of the city. But of course, as you can see, you trying to help can be quite destructive because you don't have proper hands and fingers. You've got your little tentacles, but that's what makes this game hilarious. So this was announced during Sony revealing all the, you know, the 11 PSVR2 games when they announced the first batch of pre-orders.
Perhaps we deem things monstrous because they remind us of the monstrous parts of ourselves. This tentacular island shows us how much common ground all living things share. We all seek a greater understanding of our world and of where we come from.
There you go, that's Tentacular, and another game that needs no introduction. This is one I am super hyped for. We all loved Rush of Blood. It was super cool game, and now the developers of Rush and Blood come back with the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. Now listen, this studio released some, let's say, not so great PSVR1 games, like Impatient and Bravo Team, but I don't think they can go wrong with the Switchback because of how cool Rush of Blood was. Look at those crazy fast roller coaster rides. There is that bit in the trailer when you blink and your enemy is getting closer. It always looks cool when I see it. That was that as well, I think. And also here, watch this. So every time you blink, those mannequins are coming closer and closer to you. So Switchback, I must say, looks great. Good to hear, it's a launch title. Some of you think it's very expensive because, of course, 40 quid. But hey, if it's a bigger game, then that's what you're gonna have to pay. Okay, and another game, this is the last, laughing at the trailer because they got Christmas tune running in the background. The Last Worker, coming from Wired Productions, coming to PlayStation VR2. Lately announced, and yes, you are the last worker in the factory when everyone else is a machine, so you're gonna have to perform tasks. But of course, eventually the things are getting a bit weird and a bit sinister, and it's up to you to experience and progress through all of it. Okay, and coming from the developer of Starber Taxi, if anyone remembers that game, this is Light Brigade. Now listen, this game is very cheap, I think it's like 16 quid or something. And also what's happening with this game is it's gonna come to PlayStation VR1 because people still developing PlayStation VR1 games, but also of course it will get PlayStation VR2 upgrade. Okay, and coming from the developers of Exorcist Legion VR and Exorcist Legion VR scene, another teaser here. This is Twilight Zone VR. Of course, the teaser was from the Meta Quest 2 version. And another game I want to show you, this is trailer that's debuted during Golden Joystick Awards, I think. Another game from Wired Productions, and this is Teen Hearts. Now, what they're saying basically is the VR version is still happening, but you know, they just focusing now on just making the game. That's why they're not showing that much from it. And I'm assuming now the PSVR1 won't get this game. It's gonna come to the PlayStation VR2. Okay, now that's not everything. We still got some games to talk about. We nearly done this video. I'm saying this is one of my longest videos. I'm doing it in one go. I think I paused it just once. My throat's starting to hurt from talking so much crap, let's say. But hey, look how many games are coming to PSVR2. And this is the another one you can see here. This is the trailer from the PC version. And this is Ultra Wings 2. Ultra Wings 1 was quite popular on PSVR 1. Now this game, it kind of looks to me like some people maybe giving it too much hate. It's pretty, looks pretty cool. Got like 3-4 times more content than Ultra Wings 1. Loads of more game modes. They still got this, let's say, cartoonish graphic style, but definitely looking much better than original one. You know, much more aircrafts and everything. So yeah, it's really cool game. I'm looking forward to it. And another game I'm looking forward to, this is Undead Citadel. So finally the developer said the game is ready. This trailer you see in here, don't pay too much attention to it. They change a lot in this game, but they just didn't have time to do the trailers because they've been working so hard on actually making the game good. So PSVR 1 version, I think we can forget about it, but it's coming to PlayStation VR 2. I'm glad the developer took its time with this game, because I'm assuming because how long it's been in the development, we probably gonna get quite a solid experience. So yeah, it is finally happening. Stay tuned to the channel for the release date, and as soon as I know it, I will let you know. Now this is Volcanic Core, kind of like a mech game happening in the music universe. Now, looks similar to me to Battlezone. Now listen as well, the developer already said on Twitter that they need to do new trailer, because this trailer is from Quest version. Of course, it is an indie game, so don't expect super mega fireworks, but also expect the game to look much better than from what you just saw. Okay, and another title, quite early PSVR 2 announcement. This is the VR Skater. The game is already out on PC. I've got it myself and played it. It's really fun. You just going, you know, through the levels like that, downhill, let's say, trying to perform as many tricks as possible. The tricks are, you know, some of them are quite hard to pull off, but very satisfying. The game got super cool gameplay mechanic. Of course, you're not using your legs, you're using your hands as your, let's say, imaginary legs, but it does work pretty cool. It works good. So this is a scene from the tutorial you can see here on the screen. Yeah, it's quite a challenge, but also very addictive and very fun game. So looking forward to that one. Another one, if you like your roguelites type of games, but also if you like the first-person shooters as well. This is Wandering in Space. As you can see from the trailer, it's happening in very, very far away future, like 500 years ago from where we are now, but you know, this future, as usually is in the future, is not so great. Things going wrong. So, of course, you need to survive. I like what I'm seeing in the trailer when it comes to the graphics. So hopefully all that you see here on the PC version is a nice, you know, homage, let's say, to Death Stranding. Hopefully all what you can see in the PC version will nicely translate to PlayStation VR2 version. And I'm assuming it will, because of course how cool PSVR2 is. Okay, another one, let's fast forward this trailer. This is yet another launch title coming from the developer of Souls of Gargantua. We already spoke about one of their games, which was Altair Breaker, but this is X8 or maybe times 8, I don't know. You've got, somebody said, it's as close as it gets to Overwatch in VR. Maybe, I don't know, I don't play Overwatch. From past, the developers of Farpoint tried to do Overwatch type of game with Larsenouts and it just failed pretty badly. I don't think anyone playing it anymore. But hey, shout out to them for trying. So that's the final game, I think. Yes, so finally I spoke about all of them. It took me a while, but we've gone through it. Over 100 games coming to PlayStation VR2, some of them pretty awesome. Let me know in comment section what you think, and that's it, bye.